and I'd just be like, so, let me get this straight. Like, I do the whole thing. Like, so you think those underwear are like bulletproof? Right? Those would be our conversation. I'd be like, so if I walk in, I used to like propose these hypotheticals that were just insane. Like so I walk into the Mormon temple with a fucking whole bunch of semi-automatic weapons and a shitload of ammo, and God's just gonna do a Pulp Fiction thing on you. And they're like,
what is
yeah.
the deal with the religious undergarments?
They are garments to protect you.
From what?
Everything, any sort of harm, any sort of physical harm, anything, and it's they are blessed and they are fucking sacred, and you even have to wash them. You can't mix them with other clothes. There's like all kinds of rules that come with them, and men and women both have them. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
it's basically
this goes back to what we were saying before. It's like, okay, if a plane crashes and a lone Mormon walks away unscathed, maybe you're onto something.
Maybe. Even then, maybe. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's...
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious, dude. Like, that was one of my favorite parts. Like, I mean, like, what happens if, like, can you get new magical underwear? Is that possible? Like, or do you only get one chance with this? Like, what are the rules? Like,
they get more than one set, right?
Yeah, what are the stats on these magical garments? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
what armor class do I need?
Oh, yeah, I gave it. And the missionaries always found me really funny. Like, because they were about my age and they were on a mission. And I always gave them shit. I was like, you guys, it'd be like 5 in the afternoon. You guys better get home. Bedtime's at 7:30 for you grown men. They'd be like, they'd look at me like they wanted to tell me to go fuck myself, but they couldn't. It was great. And they have vampire rules. This is another interesting, meaning they will not enter your home unless you invite them in. You have to formally say, please come in, or they'll stand on the porch.
Well, that's something.
Dude, I had fucking hours of fun with that. Hours. Literally. Every fucking time they showed up, I'd just stand at the door and go, how's it going, boys? You guys hungry? They'd be like, yeah, we could eat, man. I'd be like, cool, me too. Cooking some dinner. And I'd just fucking stand there. And they'd be like, oh, awesome. And they won't ask you if they can come in. They just won't fucking do it. They'll just stand there. These guys, anyway, at least in my city, they would just fucking talk to you about shit. Like, they'd bust out the Book of Mormon on the porch and just start reading out of it and wanting to discuss anything. And then finally, like, my ex would, like, come into the living room, or her mom would, like, come out and go, oh, do you guys want to come in? Stop it, Nate. Just stop it. I was like, well, I like fucking with them. They're vampires. It's awesome.
I knew this guy named Kirk, and he was like big fat dude with long hair, and you know that guy Cool Queef we talked about before?
Oh, yeah.
He's like that, but he acts that way and says that kind of shit just in ordinary life.
Yeah.
Like, he just says shit for shock value right to people's faces, no matter how, what it is. And, anyway, he told me the story. I don't know if it's true. People make shit up. But anyway, he's one of those, the prophets, or what do they call it? The kids on the bikes.
Missionaries.
The missionaries. They come there, they talk to him, and he was in his bathrobe. And he answers his door, and they're like, "Yeah, can we tell you about such and such?" And he reaches out his hand, and he says, "I just finished masturbating. You're welcome to come in." And they just fucked right off, got on their little bikes, and got out of there as fast as they could.
Oh yeah, they won't deal with certain people at all. Hell no. Shit.
We just realized the kingdom of God's full. We're really sorry about this. We just got...
Yeah, we didn't realize it had a capacity, but apparently it does. So off we go.
Yeah.
And it sucked, like, genuinely, like, back then, I wasn't quite mature enough to give a shit, but as I got a little older and realized, like, these were just fucking manipulated kids.
Yeah.
Who were just, like, trying to fucking do what they thought was right, and they got duped into doing it. Like, and if I could really turn back the clock, I probably would have treated them a little better, but I was a fucking kid, too. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but yeah, I thought it was pretty funny at the time, but it was like, god damn, you poor fucks. Like, you are really, like, 19 years old and you're going to bed at 7 o'clock because you have to. You're not even in the fucking army. Like, what is going on here? Like, shit, dude, you should be getting paid for this kind of mistreatment. Seriously. But yeah,
I don't know. If you look at my character now, he could sure use some magic Mormon underwear. Because right now, the weapon I'm using and the shield are heavy, but I don't have a lot in endurance. So
this gave me an idea for an equipment rename though. On several games that I play, I have to get some magical Mormon underwear. Yeah.
You should have it so like the stats display it as being really powerful, but in reality, equipment rename.
That's gonna be fucking fun. Mormon, yeah, I'll think of something clever.
Why? What games you been playing lately?
I kind of revert back to games that I just really like, and I'm doing a playthrough. Like I said, I was playing FF3 on SNES, which is a lot of fun. I've been playing.
Wait, actually, how are you liking that?
I like it a lot.
That's I
like old school RPGs.
We had a talk one time where like you and I liked all the opposite Final Fantasies, but you said you hadn't played 3. So I mean.
Oh, now yeah, I'm in the middle of it now.
If you didn't like 3, I wouldn't. I don't know if we could have still done this. It would have been the end of the channel.
No, it's fucking. If you like RPGs, it's almost impossible not to like that game.
Yeah, it is.
It's a standard fucking classic RPG, and it's really goddamn fun. Yeah. And it's good, and it's difficult to some extent. You know, I mean, you have to try a little bit, unlike some of the other games.
How far along are you?
Let's see here. Where did I leave off? I'm pretty early on. I just hopped on that raft and made my way back to the city that you start in. I'm past that. Where in the fuck did I end up? Oh yeah, you had to choose a path. Like the one dude gets separated from the party after the raft crashes or after the octopus fight.
Yeah.
He floats off. Then you have to sort of choose which story you're going to go with at that point. And I chose to go with his story, the dude that floated off. So now I met up with the shadow guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're off on our own, doing our own shit right now. So that's where I left off. Yeah. It's been really cool. Like I've had a lot of fucking fun playing it. So.
Yeah, that thing about splitting, going with it, it was so ahead of its time in terms of a lot of the things it did. Yeah. And you'll see even more. Like, okay, I'll spoil things a little bit. Once you get enough party members, you hit a phase of the game where you form up your own team, on the fly, and you fly around in your airship, and then you say, okay, well, this person, I need this party makeup, and I need this person to get stronger. So you assemble a team and you send them down, and there are some levels much later on where you actually need more than one party.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I mean, I've already
you need to have your whole crew at least somewhat strong, or at least there are parts where you'll need 8 or 12 people total. So all those, it's not like you just use a few party members. It's really cool. The game's amazing. It was so well thought out, so well designed.
And I had the exact same thought that it was ahead of its time. Like while I was playing it the other day, I was like, it was really fucking ahead of its time. This game, it was really well done and really innovative, kind of as far as the strategy goes and shit like that. But
very well.
Where was I fucking going? Can't remember what I was going to say. God damn it, I hate that. FF3, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, there was already a part in the game, like what you're describing, where you have to alternate between parties and to successfully take down whatever's attacking you. Like, it's really early on. These, like the army of, what are those things called? The Mogs and Moogles, whatever the fuck. Yeah, they show up, and they have, like, there's 3 separate parties, and you sort of alternate to take down the soldiers and get to the captain.
Right.
Down at the bottom, yeah, and it's that kind of thing, which I thought, well, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, you're going to do the same thing in a bit, but with your party members instead of just all Moogles. See, now, this was out before the Game of Thrones series. I don't think anyone can look at those knights without thinking of Gregor Clegane.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure plenty of people do.
Yeah, it's a really big guy. The fight between him and Oberyn was just legendary.
somebody gave me a Game of Thrones T-shirt, assuming that I watched it. That's how you know I'm a fucking nerd. Somebody was like, "Hey, I know this guy. He fucking loves Game of Thrones." He gives me a shirt. I've never seen an episode. Saw a clip on YouTube. Buddy of mine showed. That was it. Really? They're like, you're lying. You're being sarcastic.
Can you see okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt.
Yeah, the show's pretty epic. I'm still finishing off the books. I don't know if I told you this before. I read ahead
Did that
from where the
Yeah.
series had
apprentice
sort of
over? You know, the one always
not really left
prattling
off,
on
but
about Master
you know, I just read
He
from the
left
point
for the
at the end
undead
of season
burg, but
4, I
never
think,
came
and just
back.
found that part in the
Serves
book and just
him
kept
right.
reading.
If even old
Now I'm
Big
going
Hat
back,
can't
and
make it out there, what chance does
the
he
books are
have?
pretty
I
faithful.
hope
There's a
he
couple of
enjoys
different
his
groups that
new
they took
life as
out.
a hope.
They got rid of the Kettle Blacks. They got rid of. It's weird as they got rid of this one group, but they
What
kept a
now?
lot of the members in
I'm
it,
not
called
up
the
for
Brave Companions.
Yeah.
And like the members of the group show up, but the group itself, it doesn't exist, which is weird. And they had to like change so many minor plot points that it makes you wonder if it was really worth it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones is one of those things I'll get around to eventually, but
Yeah.
I'll be way fucking late to the party, which is fine. That's alright with me. Like, I'll still enjoy the shit out of it. Anything you've told me, I would have forgotten by the time I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Absolutely certain of that.
By the way, is the Walking Dead doing news? Is there on a? Are they on a season?
Starts in October.
All
Yep.
right.
They just fucking released a sort of season 5.
Have you ever seen the Walking Dead games by Telltale?
Sure, yeah, I played
Okay.
through those, yeah. Yeah, anything Walking Dead I've seen and participated in. Yeah,
So then you know how the branching paths work in that game, right? And how you know
yeah.
Kenny will remember that, you know,
Mhm,
that
mhm.
kind of stuff. I'm still working on that game of my own, and I was talking to some people about it, and I'm looking for contributors and people who can do content, including writing and scenario development. And
Right.
it's really frustrating because like you talk to people, even some people who are seasoned modders, and they don't understand what it means to make an engine from scratch. They're
Right.
like, well, will we be able to do this or that? I'm like, yeah, just talk to me about it, and we can do whatever we want. We can read whatever narrative we want, right?
Right.
And they're like, well, what if this is hard coded and you don't have a value? How am I going to handle this? And I'm like, what? You don't understand. You're not
Yeah.
modding a hard-coded game. We're making a game from scratch. You can do whatever, and no matter how many times we go around and around, they just don't seem to get it.
People do that with a lot of shit. Like, it's not just like it's just the thing that people do. Like people just they've had certain experiences and they just can't let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that happens on every fucking thing. Definitely not just this, but I've dealt with that in different areas, and it's fucking frustrating. It's like, no, you don't understand. Forget everything that's happened to you before now, all right?
Yeah.
Just fucking let it go. It's over now, and this is what we're doing now. Pay fucking attention to what I'm saying to you. And I hate it when people are just shitty listeners.
Yeah.
You say something to them, and they take zero stock in what you said. Like when you point out something shitty that a person does on a regular basis, it's the same fucking reaction all the goddamn time. You go, I'm trying to think of a really good example. Just like, you always leave that shit laying around, right? Whatever it is, you always leave this out. And they go, no, I don't.
Yeah.
All right. And my next question is always the same thing. Then why did I say that? Why am I saying that to you right now? Do you think that I'm just fucking, like, I hate you and I just want to shit on you a little? What's the motive for me making that statement, just pulling it out of my ass and hurling it at you? Why do you think I did that? And they're like, oh, I don't think you would do that. Okay, good. Then you do the shit that I'm pointing out, and you need to just be like, oh, yeah, I probably do. Whoops, my bad. I'll work on that.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer. Like, I'll improve it. Just fucking say that. And it's one of these things where people who say, oh, shit, you're right, I do. I fucked that up a lot. You're right. I'll try to work on that. Those are always the people that get shit done.
Yeah.
Like the people that go, oh, no, I don't. Never
Yeah.
get shit. They never accomplish dick. They never fix the shitty behavior, ever. No, I don't. And you go, well, why the fuck did I say that? What? I'm just fucking hurling shit at you now? Like, no, man.
I remember way back when I still I had this roommate, and he would just, when he used a Q-tip, he would just sort of toss it in the general direction of the wastebasket, and he never once in his entire life landed one in there.
Oh,
Right?
dude. Yeah.
And it was just disgusting. And then I mentioned it to someone else, And because other people were there, he's like, those were yours. And I thought, I hate you so much right now. It's unfathomable. I hate you so much now for blaming me for what you know God damn well was you. Even if it's such a trivial thing. It's like, how are you going to just lie like that?
No, I wouldn't even call that trivial. That's the kind of shit that matters to me. That's gross. Fucking fix your behavior. Don't throw shit on the floor, you idiot. Like, seriously, like, oh, that was you. Okay, if that were me, and that would be the point in the conversation, where I go, okay, let's say you're right. Say it is me. Why am I grossed out by this thing that I see if I'm doing it?
Yeah, it's all an elaborate conspiracy.
Right. Well,
for
I mean,
me to set them up so that I could I don't know.
Well, if I'm grossed out by a thing, that means I've noticed the thing. That means I'm not absent-mindedly participating in that thing. So logically, why in the fuck am I throwing shit around and then being disgusted by it? That's not possible. Human beings don't do the thing that you have just described. So, admit that and clean your shit up, right? You know, it's just like, I'm not going to fucking let it go. It's a really funny story, though, a long time ago when I had roommates. Fucking terrible mistake, but I think everybody at some point kind of does the roommate thing. But I had two, and I was with this girl at the time. We were all, so there were 4 people in this pretty good-sized apartment, like 3-bedroom apartment. And there's 4 of us, like me and the girl I was with, and then the 2 roommates. And I go into the bathroom one morning, like I just took a big swig of Kool-Aid, right? Yeah. And I'm in the bathroom, and I decide I've got to spit. Like I've got to like hawk some shit up, and I got to spit. So I do it in the sink. Bad choice, I know. It was really disgusting. I was a kid. I did it, sorry. But I spit in the sink. And here's what got interesting. Like, for some fucking reason, like I just woke it up. I didn't even rinse it out. Like, I didn't rinse the sink out. I just left it in the fucking sink. And I walk out. So here comes the girl. Here comes the girlfriend. She walks out. Is just absolutely mortified. She has everybody out in the living room. And we're all sitting there. She goes, I want to know who in the fuck went into the bathroom this morning and spit in our sink. Like, who just spit in the sink? So I go, okay. So at that moment, I made a decision. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm copping to this. There is no fucking way. I was like, I'm going to ride this to the end. Right? And I don't know why. It was just, I wanted to do it. Like, I knew I was wrong. I just didn't care. And I didn't want to get away with anything. I just wanted to see what would happen if no one admitted to doing it. Because I knew these other 2 people were not going to admit it because they didn't fucking do it. Right? So I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. So I go, you know me, I don't do things like that. And that, because I generally didn't, work, right? So it was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, he wouldn't do that. He doesn't do things like that. Which one of you, and this is where it ended up, spit in the sink? I didn't do that shit. I wasn't even up. And the other one said something else. So she just, at this point, is so angry that between 4 people, no one will cop to it, right? She is fucking furious to the point where she goes, if somebody doesn't admit to doing that, I'm throwing somebody out, right? She's like mad, right? So I'm still, even at this extreme level, I'm still not going to fucking say anything. I'm still going to let it go and let it go and let it go. So now she finally just decided that one of the other people did it, blamed him, and was like, get your shit and go, right? So later, so I talked to him, and I go, don't worry about it. Just hang out. She'll get over it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. Don't fucking worry about it, right? So later that night, we're laying in bed, and I go, hey. She's like, what? I go, it was me. She goes, what? I go, it was me. I spit in the sink. I fucking didn't rinse it out. It was me. Then she goes, you motherfucker. And that was it. That was it. Like, that's it. You motherfucker. And I go, that's it? I go, you were so angry. She's like, I was fucking angry because nobody would admit it. And it wasn't magic and like all this shit. And I was like, I know you were right, but that's all. She goes, well, what do you want me to do? You know, and I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. And she laughed her ass off for a long fucking time. And she was like, you really made me look like an idiot. By night, so I told everybody else, and they were mad at me for a couple hours, but yeah, that was about it.